BigCountryPreps.com. I'm Evan Wren, and this is the Countdown to Two-A-Days series, our daily look at an area football team and the key questions we're going to be answering about that team in our August 16th preseason football preview here at Big Country Preps. I'm with my partner, Dan Youngblood, via Zoom, and today, Dan, we're talking about the Roscoe Plowboys.
Yeah, and to me, Roscoe is one of the more intriguing teams in the area this year. I know you and I both had really high expectations for them last year, and saw some of that come crumbling down as a result of just a lot of injuries. They really had struggled with injuries last year, but they've got 18 of their 23 lettermen back from last year, including 9 starters on both sides of the football, playmakers all across the field. This could be a very good season for Roscoe, and it should be a fun one if they can stay healthy.
All right, before we jump into tonight's show, we want to remind you YouTubers to hit the subscribe button. And after that, hit the little bell, which will give you notifications every time that we come up with new podcasts here at Big Country Preps. And it'll be a great way for you to keep up with our Countdown to Two-A-Days series, which will be running all summer long, right up to the beginning of Two-A-Days.
And with that, let's just jump right in. And I've already touched on the first big question, and that's health. It was health that kind of derailed their season last year. Just a lot of injuries to a lot of key players, forced kids out of position, forced young kids into some tough spots, which can be a huge positive this year if they can stay healthy. If all of their playmakers can stay healthy, they're going to have developed a lot of depth from that season last year where young guys got to step into key roles. And now those guys are kind of going to be able to kind of fill into roles maybe more suitable for their experience levels and those sorts of things. But the health is the big question. We saw last year what injuries can do to a really quality team. If they have injuries again this year, it could be a similar outcome. But I'm really bullish on the team if they can stay healthy, but I do think that is the number one key question with the squad.
It's the number one key question for all two-A's.
That's true.
Two-A's, I mean, that's the life of a two-A. You've got to stay healthy or you have no shot. And one injury means you're losing 2 players because of all the two-way players. I think another key question I would ask about Roscoe this year is cohesiveness. Now, they have more people on their roster at 25 than most Class 2A teams do, and they have a lot of kids that played last year subbing for those injured players who got experience. Well, the injured players are back this year, so you have to find new spots for a number of different faces, and you hope to build cohesiveness early in that non-district portion because people are going to be playing in different positions. So that'll be a key, I believe, for Roscoe. Just building some cohesiveness, especially in the non-district portion of the season.
And one more kind of burning question that you and I were discussing before we got on here today is just, could this be the year that Ivan McCann truly breaks out? We've seen how talented the kid is. He had a really, really good freshman season on both sides of the football, was one of our newcomers of the year that year. Last year was limited to 6 games because of an injury before the season. I'm really excited to see if this kid can finally put, first of all, stay healthy and then put together the type of season we know he's capable of. This guy is a monster, and I'm excited to see if maybe this will be the year that he puts it all together. And if he does, that's going to make Roscoe, I think, a very fun team to watch this year.
All right. With that, let's take a quick look at Roscoe's schedule for 2023 non-district portion at Colorado City to start things off on August 25th. They have an open date on the 1st, followed by a neutral site game with Clarendon at Lockney on September the 8th. On the 15th, they're at Sterling City. On the 22nd, at New Home, and then at home against Junction on the 29th. I like that non-district portion of the schedule. It gives them a chance to build some momentum, get some wins, hopefully stay healthy, going into what's going to be a very tough district, Dan.
Yeah, and Roscoe, this is kind of an interesting schedule. They're the only team in that district that doesn't have its open date the week before district play starts. Everyone else there has their bye week, September 29th. Roscoe will jump right into district off that Junction game with a really an important key district game at Cross Plains on October 6th. Then they come home on the 13th to host Abilene TLCA, then go to Albany on October 20th. Host Miles on October 27th, and then finish up at Hamlin on November 3rd. So an interesting schedule. Theirs is kind of a little bit unique in this district, and they've got a couple of, really two of their three toughest district games will come right off the bat there in district. So it'll be an interesting schedule there as well.
A couple of big games for them. Roscoe at Cross Plains. That's to me, that's the game of the year for them. That's the district opener. that game at home against Miles on the
Mhm.
27th is a big one as well. That's if we assume that Albany is a lock to win the district. You never know, of course, but they are certainly, as defending state champions, the clear cut favorite here. Everybody have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, and you pointed out the two games that I think are going to be the biggies. That game at Cross Plains on October 6th, and then the one at home against Miles on October 27th. If they can find a way to win both of those, they'll finish as a 2 seed, which is important because you're going up against a very difficult district in by district. You do not want to finish third or fourth. And then kind of you mentioned it. I think everybody views Albany as the favorite, and for good reason. But if this Roscoe team can stay healthy, who knows? Maybe they can give them a run on the 20th. But I think that the Cross Plains and Miles games are the really important ones.
And with that's about time to wrap up today's edition of the Countdown to Two-A-Days series, the Roscoe Plowboys. But before we do that, we want to remind you, August 16th is the big day here at Big Country Press, where we release our annual preseason football preview, which is the most comprehensive preseason preview for Big Country football from any media source, period. We're going to be, we have the most accurate, the most in-depth look at Big Country football anywhere that you're going to get. We're the most accurate. And we just provide a ton of material with more than 40 team previews and 40 features, 40 player features as well, columns, you name it, we're going to have it. Sign up, join us.
In the meantime, thank you for joining us for this episode of our Countdown to Two-A-Days series. And make sure you join us again tomorrow when we will be highlighting the Haskell Indians here at BigCountryPreps.com.